Welcome to Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101. I'm Terry Cameron. Thanks for hanging out with me again for this episode, which just happens to be episode number 198. You know, I tell you guys a lot of times it's hard to come up with different subjects to talk about, you know, for each episode. I mean, especially when we're talking about the car business. And I normally, or I would say almost always, get my material from what happens to me throughout the day, week, or month, or sometimes even in the past. Well, this morning, as I was walking onto the lot or driving onto the lot, I took a look at it and I noticed our front line looked absolutely terrible. And, you know, I have to kick myself for it because I don't remember looking at it like that anytime in the recent history. So I'm wondering how long our lot has actually looked like that. But it brought back some memories. So this episode, we're going to talk about one of my memories, and it's, let's just call it the lot party, or some of us might even think of it as the barbecue. So it was many, many years ago. I was a young green pea in the car business, but I recall taking an incoming phone call. You know, we didn't have caller ID at that time, but this would just happen to be the dealer principal of our store. He had several other dealerships spread out over a couple hundred miles, so he didn't live where I was selling at our dealership. So because of this, he'd only visit our store once a week, and that was usually on Thursdays. So needless to say, we always had everything in order when Thursday mornings came around. Anyway, this call was on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and he just wanted me to let management know that he wanted everyone to be there when he arrived this Thursday because he wanted to have a barbecue with us. Well, when Thursday came around, I was ready for the food to be served. I even chose not to bring my lunch because of the barbecue that we'd be having. It didn't take long before I found out what he meant by a barbecue. On the menu was our asses, and man, did we get them cooked. You see, several weeks prior, the local television station started installing what we now call Skycams all throughout Central Texas. One particular Skycam was pointed at our lot because we just happened to have the largest U.S. flag available, I think legal flag available, flying above our store. Well, the camera not only showed that flag, but it also showed the east side of our car lot and several rows of new car inventory on the most expensive location on the lot, and that was the front row. Well, it seems the owner, and we'll call him Mr. Brown, tunes into this particular station each evening to watch the local news and weather, and on the Monday before his visit, when the Skycam portion of the news came on, he noticed 2 or 3 cars that were backed into spots on the front line when they should have been pulled straight in like the other 20 or so cars in that line. I know, no biggie, right? Well, it became a biggie because the cars that were in the exact same position during Tuesday's broadcast was also the same spot on Tuesday's broadcast and again on Wednesday's broadcast. But when he arrived Thursday, just before lunchtime, he saw that the cars were parked properly and the entire lot was clean and straight. So the barbecue began. As Mr. Brown proceeded with his ranting, I was amazed at how hot he got over just a couple of misplaced cars. I mean, at least they were all there and they were clean, so what's the big deal? He explained, in no uncertain terms, that the 2 cars weren't necessarily the problem. It was the fact that they stayed that way until the day of his visit. The word he kept throwing out was trust, or more like lack of trust. He said it proved that the lot was never checked and maintained except the hours prior to his arrival on Thursday mornings. And that the Skycam could have seen the entire lot, he was sure there'd be more areas that needed attention. He talked about having pride for our cars and the display we put out there for all to see. And last but not least, he made a couple of changes to management. This barbecue obviously has stuck with me over the years, and I try my best to maintain any lot that I'm responsible for. And after this short break, we'll dive into how to make our lot sparkle and shine. Auto dealers, do you know where your vehicles are and when they'll arrive? I know the inventory management challenge dealers face so I'm certain the answer is a resounding no. But Montway Auto Transport can change your answer to a confident yes with the Montway Automation Portal, better known as MAP, M-A-P. MAP offers a smarter way to move and manage orders while giving you end-to-end visibility of all inbound and outbound units. You can upload VINs, get pricing, dispatch the orders, and track every unit on the dashboard. Leveraging MAP can save you time and money and get your vehicles to your lots quicker to sell. With MAP, you can book, track, and manage your inventory from one revolutionary platform. See MAP in action at www.montway.com/map. Now write this down, www.montway.com/map, and put your dealership on the map. Welcome back. Hey guys, let me ask you this question. If you were asked by your boss if the lot and the display were in perfect or at least close to perfect condition, what would you say? And would you say it with conviction and 100% confidence, especially if you answered, yes, boss, it is. But then he told you he was going to inspect it. Would you still be 100% confident? Chances are you wouldn't be. Let's face it. As managers and salespeople, we have a lot of things on our mind when we drive up on a lot every morning. I mean, I understand. We have to figure out what we're going to have for breakfast, maybe even lunch. I hope there's coffee brewed and the donuts and kolaches are still in the service department waiting area. Or other important thoughts, like wondering if you'll be busy today. Are your CRM activities caught up? I hope my appointments don't cancel or reschedule again, and on and on. The one thing for most of us that does not come to mind is the state of our lot and showroom displays. Now, this doesn't make us bad people. It just means a lot of us, especially managers, we need to develop a habit of viewing our lot and showroom as if we were customers visiting for the first time. You see, we can easily get used to looking at our surroundings being in disarray, just as easy as seeing it in tip-top shape. Here's a perfect example of getting used to your surroundings. Several years ago, I built my first house with 2 living areas. The house we sold only had 1 living area, so of course we only had living room furniture for 1 room. It really didn't matter because I knew we would be purchasing more furniture for that second living area after settling in. Anyway, about 8 months go by, and I had some relatives from out of town visit us, and as we were eating dinner, one of them asked what we were going to do with the spare room that we had. And I asked them which one. They said, well, the one that's right inside the front door. The one where everyone had to walk through to get to the rest of the house. My wife and I both looked at each other confused as we weren't quite aware of having a spare room when it dawned on us that they were talking about our second living area. We just got so used to seeing it empty that it became normal. Oh, and as we were sitting at the breakfast bar eating, I realized that we still haven't even purchased our second dining room furniture either. So what you need to do now, after this episode, is grab your crew and do a thorough walkthrough of your lot and showroom and any other areas that customers can see. Write down the shortcomings in each area and proceed to correct them. Has trash blown on the lot? Are there water bottles and empty cigarette packs in the bed of your trucks? Are the lines straight and all holes filled? Is the inventory clean? Do the tires shine? Can you see wiper blade streaks on the windshield? Are there cigarette butts on the ground? Are the trash cans full? Yes, I did my walkthrough this morning, and these are just a few of the things that I noticed on my lot. Other things you should check on a regular basis is fuel levels. Does everything start? Is the fan blower off and the stereo turned down and off? The point is not to have any reason to apologize to your customers. After the walkthrough, and after all the noted deficiencies are corrected, have another person from your dealership, maybe a tech or a member of the office staff, do another walkthrough and jot down what they see. It's a really good idea to do a lot walk each morning with your teams. And again at the end of the day, because you probably will have shoppers on your lot after hours. When these practices turn into a regular habit and the dealer will feel so much better about your place of business, you might even sell a few more cars. It's like an old truck I was assigned back in my military days. It was really rough. It was tough. It had bullet holes in it, and it was probably the oldest truck that we had in our unit. But I kept it clean, and it seemed to run so much better when it was clean. I'm sure your dealership will run better too. Just keep it clean. Now the only thing that's left to do is do it. And remember, the sky's the limit. And I'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcast. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutesalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share the show with a friend.